Recording in progress. Okay. So thank you for joining my presentation on the sovereign mindset and behavior, which I personally believe is equally important to the stuff that you've learned from Pete on the legal side. I have prepared some slides for you, which I am going to show to you right now. So this session invites you to step into your journey towards the life that you are in control of. This session is about thinking differently and living better. And I will start with a question, and the question is, why are you here? Your answer will help me understand more of where you are, and I can tailor my slides and my presentation based on what you will tell me. So please write in the chat what is the reason why you decided to invest your time in this session? Curious. Okay, thank you. First answer from Jeanette. Let's see what others are saying. Confidence. So I guess you want to feel more confident. Thank you, James. Deprogram. Oh, nice. Thank you. Wanting to build. Oh, no, it's too quick. Wanting to build on my existing knowledge. Always wanting to learn. Definitely curious. Trying to get the wife to engage and to be involved in the sovereign project. I want to be free and my own woman, shared knowledge to improve my sovereign self, to learn more about reclaiming my sovereignty. I am right at the beginning of the journey. Avid learner, open up to all avenues to gain more knowledge. I want to stand in my own power and be more confident. Curiosity. Thank you, guys. You can still respond if you want. I will move on. So the agenda that I proposed for you, Lorna, there are more people in the room. The agenda that I proposed for you is what is being sovereign, misconceptions about sovereignty from my point of view, 3 things that change everything, again, from my point of view, demonstrated by many other clients that we have in the BUB Free movement, but I'll get there. How to become sovereign, why now? And you have the power. Out of these 6, which one presents more interest to you? So if you can just write 1, 2, 3, whatever number in the chat, so I can put more time into that piece that you will say is more interesting or you want to know more of.
6.
6. 3, 3, 6. 3. Okay, so 3 and 6.
Well, 6s.
Skip the rest. Okay, 1, 4, and 6. So I will go very quickly on the other bits, and then I will insist, and I will spend more time on 3 and the 6. Then, thank you. So obviously, you are in the Sovereign Project. So this presentation has been designed specifically for people who understand there is something wrong in the world, to just call it softly. There is a system that is corrupt, rigged, and want to be free, want to free yourself. From what you want to free yourself from, it's a question mark for now. But if you want to get maximum out of this session, which I believe you do, please participate actively with me, which you're already doing, by stopping distractions, phone, whatever can interrupt you. Take notes if you feel like, engage, because we are going to build this presentation together. And answer my questions and interact every time there is a possibility. There are some exercises which are meant to make you feel and understand better the concepts that I'm going to introduce to you tonight. So the point is that you know what you know, but you don't know what you don't know. So congratulations for being here and finding out some of the things you don't know. There is an introduction which I prepared for you, and I'm going to go as quickly as I can through this, but it is going to set the scene. So we recap what we already know, and we know that we are here because we want to become sovereign. My point of view is that at the moment, no one is sovereign. I am not sovereign, and no one in this group is sovereign from my point of view, but we can all become sovereign. And this is an important piece. Today's presentation is an important piece towards becoming sovereign. I structured the presentation this way, so we can all take a step back and just take a breath and look at what we already know with a different focus. We want to focus on what's really, really important. I watched the conversation in the group, in the WhatsApp group, and from my point of view, some of the things that people are focusing there are only distractions, are only things that keep you out of being sovereign and make it impossible to be sovereign. I am going to use an analogy of a king because the true king is sovereign. But I recognize that monarchy and king are questionable, especially now that we understand the duality of the system and of what they do. We live in an inverted world. Everything we see as monarchy is the opposite to what it should be. But it doesn't mean we can't be in charge of our own kingdom. And the example was the castle doctrine, which we already know that there are no implied rights to access my kingdom. That's why we put the post-its on the door and say, hey, you bailiffs or whoever, go away, because you have no, I withdraw any implied right. Now, being sovereign, from my point of view, and I checked with ChatGPT, I have to confess, is to be self-governing, independent, and in full authority on one's own life, decisions, and actions. So if we look at the king, that is being sovereign, what are the characteristics of a king? So the king has control over their own thoughts, emotions, and actions. The king makes clear, informed decisions with responsibility. Responsibility for the decisions, for the actions, and for the consequences of the actions. They trust their inner confidence, their inner guidance, and they are obviously acting with confidence. They understand the needs of their people, and they have empathy. The king is a protector and nurturer of his domain, cares for resources, community, environment, committed to truth, to fairness and justice. I'm talking about a real king. Stands by his word, honesty, and lives in integrity. He's courageous and resilient. He's humble, seeking his own improvement. He listens to his counsels and values the wisdom of others. Has clear vision, a sense of direction, inspires others. Do you agree with me so far? Just yes, no in the chat. And obviously sets firm boundaries to protect his domain. Let's see if you agree. Not our king then. No, we are not talking about our king. We are talking a true king. These are the characteristics of a true king. Do you agree with me on this piece? I see some yeses. Okay. Super. Thank you. So now being sovereign has 4 components. Sovereignty means being sovereign, which we keep talking about, is feeling sovereign, is thinking sovereign, and it's acting sovereign. Sovereignty means be, feel, think, act. And they are combined into what I showed you in the slide earlier. There are a lot of misconceptions about sovereignty. Sovereignty, from my point of view, doesn't mean that you own your house, doesn't mean that you stop paying your bills or your mortgage or whatever, doesn't mean that you rebel or you fight the system, doesn't mean that you get out of the system, and doesn't mean to keep focusing on what they, whoever they are, do to harm you or others. The problem from my point of view is that there is too much information, way too much. the truth is hidden, and it's very difficult to distinguish what's true and what's not true. People are confused, are overwhelmed. The thing is way too complex for a normal mind to understand and process and get it. And it requires studying, understanding, doing. The process is slow, or the progress is slow, or some people have no progress at all, just consume information for the sake of consuming information, and they blame others, and they feel they should do something or someone should do to them, but they do nothing, so they don't progress. And of course, people are busy with their jobs, their business, and their life. Most people think they understand, but they still live in fear, negative emotions, and are subject to others' requests and cannot be in control of their lives. Now, do you agree with me so far? Or do you have anything else that you feel contradicts what I said so far? Just put it in the chat if you agree. Andrew says, sounds like a great role model. Yes, the king, the true king, is a great role model, and we can all be the true king for our own kingdom, not for the United Kingdom, just for our own kingdom. Super, I see some agree here. So some people believe that they are out of the system because they grow a cow or vegetables, or they found bits and pieces to not pay something, or kind of go behind. But let me tell you one thing. You're here listening to this presentation, using the internet, using the infrastructure of the system. As long as you use your phone, you are in the system. As long as you drive a car on the roads, you are in the system. So being out of the system is just a nonsense concept from my point of view. I'm not saying to be as it was in the system. I'm saying this is the truth. We cannot get out of the system in the way that we were meant to feel or led to believe we can get out of the system just by not having a contract with the utilities or the council tax. That's not being out of the system. You still depend on others, and you still use money because you need money to pay for different things. So you are in the system. Some people attempt to get out of the system as they understood it so far. And a lot of the people I've seen, they act from desperation. They find, oh, I'm not going to pay the bills. Cool, I don't have to pay the bills because I don't have the money to pay the bills. Therefore, I'm going to get out of the system. But those people get into more trouble. A lot of the people have feel the fear of getting caught, even imprisoned, and we've seen different cases recently. They start the process and give up. And I have to admit, I started the process myself. And when you get the notification, even though it's fake, saying that the tribunal judge, whatever, decided this, that the bailiffs will come out to knock on your door and take possessions, and it's still not comfortable. And I did think about giving up. I did think, why am I wasting my time and fighting this rather than just paying the bills? I am continuing, but I did have these thoughts. And a lot of the people resolve one problem, but then they have another problem in another way. And many people believe they can't get out of the system in this way of system being the council tax and the whatever. And from my point of view, I believe a lot of people are in the department of wait and see. They do nothing, and they are stuck in the same situation. Some people fail to resolve something and they conclude that it is not possible. Some people stop others from achieving it because they concluded that it's not possible. And someone said to me this: you will never get out of the council tax bill. They will chase you forever. I have started 6 years ago and still battling. Now, I don't believe that's true. But if someone says that to someone, it instills the thought, and then that thought will be in that person until that person is conscious that that thought has been sent to that person and removes the thought. And once the thought is there, then obviously there is more doubt and more insecurity, and it's more difficult to stop some of the nonsense that we learned about. Now, where are you? And this is a question for you. Who acted to get out of the system? And just say yes in the chat box if that's you, and say yes right now. I will read what Helen said. It sounds, she said, oh, please stop that. Helen said, sounds like an inner journey. Oh. Helen said, sounds like an inner journey as much as an external one. That is exactly what I believe. And that's exactly what I want to sell to you. The concept that they go hand in hand together. So to the question, who acted to get out of the system? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have a no. Please answer this question now. It's a yes. Acted, 1 letter sent is a yes. Just say yes if you've done something. Okay, so we've got some more yeses and few no's, and that's okay. Super, thank you. Now, who started and gave up? So from now on, answer only this question. Who started and gave up? Honestly. Got scared and gave up. And that's okay. We've got 1 yes. That's okay. Me, not quite given up. Not quite given up yet. Okay, so someone is considering giving up. I did cause trouble with police. Will never give up. Yes. So just want to acknowledge that there are people that did something and are continuing to do. Some people started and are stopping, and that's okay. And then the last question, who is relaxed and is doing it with ease? Getting out of the system with ease, whatever the system you believe it is, writing the letters and the notices. So now answer this, who is relaxed? So if you're relaxed about it, just say yes. Okay, I got 1 no, 2 yeses. Is, as we know, it is all lies and bullshit. 3, 4. It hasn't yet become second nature. No. In my mind, I'm out. I'm more happier. Okay. So some people find it easy. Some people don't find it easy, and that's okay. Just want to acknowledge that everyone is in different journey regarding the process with the notices, and everyone is a different journey regarding with the inner power, which we're going to touch upon today. It is work in progress. I agree. Thank you very much. So now back to sovereignty. Who feels enslaved? And that's me. Me or yes? I have a yes and me, yes. Yes. And if you don't feel you're enslaved, say no, of course. So we have a never, we have a choice. Not inside, unfortunately, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, so again, we have a mixture. Yes, sadly. Yes, unfortunately, we all felt at some point, some of us still feel, some of us don't feel enslaved, but at some point we all felt enslaved. I felt enslaved when I realized I was the slave of my own business, not as an employee. I was the slave of my own business. And that was like, whoa, I made my own business to be my own slave? Yes, that's my own construction. Someone is messing with the screen. Can you please stop that? So not in my mind, but outside of me, yes. As long as there is something inside or outside, there is slavery within you. What about your parents? Do you feel that your parents have been enslaved? That's just, so now the question is just about the parents, yes or no? Definitely. More answers about the parents, yes, yes, yes. So I've got more yeses. Yes, but didn't know. Definitely yes. They had no clue. Parents, definitely yes. Cool. What about grandparents? Now just about the grandparents. So say yes or no about the grandparents. 1 no, 2 no's, and then the rest are yeses. Not sure. Probably, but didn't know. Grandparents, yes, and many previous generations, exactly. Many previous generations, us, parents, grandparents, and many previous generations. And you know about the DNA. We inherit in our DNA characteristics of the parents, grandparents, and ancestors. So we inherited in our DNA, we all have this enslaved piece. Some feel it more, some feel it less, but it's inside you. The slave mentality is within every single one of us, more or less. And now we are going to a super cool piece. So just about life, everyone wants a bright future. And that's why you see it orange, and probably that's why you're here, because you want a better, brighter future. But when are we creating this future? We are creating it right now, in the present moment. And when was the present created? What we are living right now was created in the past. So that means that the past has been carried on in the future and will be carried on in, sorry, it has been carried on in the present and will be carried on in the future. So the slave mentality, the feeling of being slave, acting as slave, thinking as slave, is in our past and is within all of us and will be carried in the future. Now, how can we be sovereign in future if this slave piece is in all of us? That's why we're here. That's why we're here, to understand, first of all, to acknowledge. We can't run away from it and we can't hide. We can only acknowledge and accept that is slavery, slave mentality has been carried from the past generations and is within us. And now that we know is within us, we can do something to change it. And it is possible. Now, one more thing. That might sound very negative. You might be thinking like, oh shit, how can I have a brighter future if my present is shit and if my past was shit? Or if I don't come from a wealthy family, or if my family had problems, or whatever. If you don't change anything, it's very within you. It's very difficult to change the future. But you can't change the past. There is something you can do, though, and that is a crucial piece of information. You can change the energy contained in the past. You can change the way the past is affecting you right now and in the future. And I'll come back to this because it's a very interesting thought and idea. And this is what I want to sell to you as a concept. So one of the concepts. So you go further into this and then you research more and you do whatever you feel is right for you. But you're aware of something that needs to change. The past within you needs to change. And to bring it more into your awareness, I would like to do a very brief exercise. If you are comfortable at home, I would like to invite you to close your eyes and think of something. Think of a desire, think of an objective, think of something that you want to achieve. And as you keep your eyes closed, just take a deep breath in, very deep. Now imagine you have no past. There is no past. Imagine the past is simply gone, doesn't exist anymore. It's just void. And think about that thing that you want to achieve, that objective, desire, dream that you have. And feel the feeling of achieving that objective with no past. There is nothing you carry There is nothing that is influencing you. And just go for it. And you can feel that for a few more minutes or seconds, sorry. You can take a deep breath in. And please write in the chat, how did it feel without the past? That's why they're trying to make them kill each other with wars. Okay, so now it's just this question. Someone said, great. Tell me how you felt about achieving what you want without the past. Free. What else? Nothing to hold you back. Thank you. What else? Positive. Thank you. Empty your mind. Confused. That's okay too. Tony Robbins says, be happy that you're confused, because when you're confused, you're out of your previous mental state and you're open to something new. So that's good too. Fabulous, but said to lose memories. Ah, so you're attached to memories. The memories are holding you back. So the memories need to go. The attachment to memories needs to go because it's holding you back. You still can have the memories without the attachment to the memories, because the attachment is something, that in present moment feeling good. Super. So you can see, based on whoever accepted my invitation to do the exercise, that it feels free, it feels better. And that's what I invite you to do. I invite you to accept that it's much easier and everything is possible when there is no past. Now, of course, we, as I said, we can't remove the past. We can't change the past because it's in the past, it happened, but we can change the way it affects us. We can neutralize the past. So what we want is really to remove the slavery mentality so we can then free ourselves to be sovereign. Are you with me so far? Does this make sense? Yes, no? Just put in the chat, yes, no? I've got a yes. Yes, okay, super. So now we can move, and one of the three things that I said change everything is that the past is contained in the future. So far, you've seen the difference that when there is no past, the future is free, feels better, feels more positive. But with the past, it's like, the life that most people live. Now, I want to introduce you to another concept, the concept of the whole being. Now, most people believe that they are who they see in the mirror, like this physical body. And yes, you do have a physical body. You are not the physical body. And if you think about it, you say, this is my hand, this is my body. So you're not the body, you have a body. Also, you have a mind, conscious and subconscious. You also have emotions. You also have a soul, and you also have a spirit. And I'm going to insist on this and then go into a bit more explanations here. Most people don't understand what it means, of course. Some people understand and focus on the well-being of the physical body, and some people also understand that there is a conscious mind, subconscious mind, and they work on it. Very few people, and they use different, like NLP or different strategies or tools. Some people understand that they have emotions, and most people who understand this and want to remove the negative emotions are coping with them or are trying to suppress them, are trying to avoid them, are trying to put them under the carpet so that they don't bother them. But what happens when you put garbage under the carpet? For a day is fine, for 2 days it's fine, for a week is fine, then it starts to stink. And then eventually you can't live there unless you get the carpet out and remove the garbage. And that's also my point. So experts, and there are many scientists now who are explaining that the emotions are actually chemicals in the body. And the emotions, negative emotions that haven't been treated, haven't been released, are getting stuck into the body. And then they go into different parts of the body. And that's how the disease is caused. This is how the negative emotions are responsible for a lot of the physical conditions that people have. Now, this may make sense, or it's new, but when we go into the soul, I might surprise you, because everyone says or knows there is a soul, but nobody really knows what it is. The soul, again, scientists have measured the body just before death and right after death, after the soul has gotten out of the body. And they concluded that the soul weighs 21 grams. So there is something. There is something that comes into the body and then goes when the person dies. And the reason why I bring it here is because the soul has memory. And a lot of the stuff that we are not happy with sits in our soul. So a lot of the slavery mentality could be in our DNA, could be inherited from the parents, but could be something that we have in our soul. And some people believe in reincarnation, some people don't believe. I don't want to go into that. If you're interested, we can do another session and I can explain more. I just want you to be aware that the soul has a memory that you're not aware of, and contributes to the heaviness that you feel, the stuff that keeps you, holds you back, holds you in something that you're not happy with, can be related to something that is in your soul. Now, the reason why most people don't get what they want and they struggle is because there is a conflict between the physical body, the mind, the emotions, and the soul. And one pulls in one direction, one pulls in a different direction. Like an easy example, and which you probably know about, it's you want to be rich, but you believe rich people are bad. Therefore, you don't want to be bad. Therefore, you don't want to be rich. But you want to be rich, and that's a conflict. And that's just a one that people talk about. It's probably hundreds of these conflicts that every single whole being has. And these are the ones that are holding us back. So you want to get out of the council tax or out of the bills or out of the whatever, you start the process being confident and following the whatever letters that you know how to write. But then the fear kicks in, the doubt kicks in. That's not from the logical brain, because the logical brain, you've been through the course, you know, you have to do this process and it's fine. But the fear is not logical. The fear could be from your soul, or could be linked to some other experiences that you've had, which are recorded in your soul. And that's where most people that's why most people get stuck. Even though they work with their mind, even though they work with their emotions, they don't understand the soul, and that's what's putting them down. So what we need is really to understand what's there and bring harmony between the physical body, the mind, the emotions, and the soul. And if you look at Pete, Pete is amazing, and probably, hopefully you all know him. It's the founder of the Sovereign Project, and he is in his mission. The reason why he can do all of this and free himself from those contracts, implied contracts, is because there is no conflict between the physical body, the mind, the emotions, and the soul. But you're not Pete. I'm not Pete. We have our own conflicts, our own inner things, which we need to identify to be able to have harmony around stopping the whatever contract or whatever we want to achieve. With the spirit is the spark, some people call it divine, some people call it guides, God, some people call it universe, higher self. It has all sorts of different names. It's basically something that is within us. And this is what actually creates. And when something is very easy for you to achieve, it's because you're working with your spirit. Well, you don't know that, but the spirit is supporting you and is like you're on the wave, and the spirit is the wave supporting you, bringing you to wherever you want to achieve. And also because there is harmony between the physical mind, physical body, mind, emotions, and soul. But when you don't achieve something, or we have to struggle to achieve something, or it costs you something else. So for example, you earn good money, but it costs you the relationship or the health or something else, is because these are not aligned. And the spirit is also not supporting you. And a lot of the times, the spirit is like the wave going the opposite side to where you want to go. That's why it's hard. And when you understand life as whole being, you understand that you are a whole being, you get out of the limitations of the brain, of the logical mind, of the stuff that you know that you've been taught. And you step into your power, you step into potentials, you step into so many more things that you were not aware of, that you had no idea, that you never wished, never desired, never even dared to think about, because you didn't know that you are a whole being, but you are. Now, I don't want to go into a lot of details because I still have quite a bit prepared. Tell me, how are you getting this information? Does this make sense to you? Is it new? Did you know anything about it? How is it for you? So I know where I'm getting you from, and how much depth can I give into this. This is one of the keys, and that's why. And you said 3. This is number 3. So you wanted the things that change everything. This changes everything. Once you understand, accept, and act from the whole being you are, then you have much more opportunities. You're not limited anymore, and you can change. You can get out of that contract. You can stop that and whatever nonsense. So I got comforting and informative. Thank you, Joanna. Anybody else? Have I lost you? Do you like it? Yes, no? I like this. Still here, okay. I like that this is about my whole self. It makes so much sense. Super. It's very interesting about the difference between the soul and the spirit. Love your explanation. Still here. Yes, I've studied this. You can go deeper if you wish. Still here, loving it. Once you know what you have to comfort you, once you know what you have to confront, you have a plan. Not sure I understand this. Okay. So I understand it's a yes, and you're liking it. I'm going to go into more when we reach the power thing. And I can do another session literally just on this, because this is the key. This is actually the key to freedom. This is the key to freeing ourselves as humanity. You have to know your enemy before you can fight him. Okay, thank you for this comment, Andrew. So who is the enemy? Whom do you think, or do you believe is the enemy?
Who's telling you what to do and not giving you a choice?
Confusion, ourselves, the system. Okay, myself. So there are 2 types of people, and that's okay. Some people say it's the system, it's them, it's somebody. Some people believe and know and understand it's themselves. From my point of view, it's both. It is within ourselves. The enemy is within ourselves. But now we know what the enemy is. It's this conflict. It's these pieces that pull in different directions. And because these pieces pull in different directions, and because we don't know that we are whole, we allowed the system and them and whoever to take the power. But now it's time to understand that we are a whole being, and we can take that power back. And once we understand this and we take the power back, they literally they can't do anything. Everything they do is because we give them the power. We either give them the power or we allow them to do whatever they do. But when we work as a whole being, when we act, feel, believe, live as a whole being, no one has any power over anyone because we have the power within. That's the power. The spirit is the power. And having these in harmony and in balance is the power. As I said, the cabal traitors, or however you want to call them, are fit in within this category of system of them that do something bad. The only reason why they do something bad is because we allow them to do something bad. Because we're not aware that we are a whole being and we only think and act and live from the mind. But now as we open to this, they will have no power. Of course, not only as we open into this, once we step into this, into the whole being, and when we live from the whole being, which is a process, it's not an immediate thing, we take the power back. Every time you think of them that they do something bad, you give them power. You actively give them power. You give them energy because you put your focus on them, how bad they are, what bad thing they do, and you give focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. So your energy goes into giving them the power. We want to focus on us, on the whole being, and then we can change the world. We can change ourselves, we can change around us, and we can change the world. And this is the Be Free movement. This is what I do for a living. This is my passion now, and I can talk forever because this is what I do. This is how I earn my money, and this is all I care about, or mainly what I care about. So the second thing is you are a whole being. Everyone is a whole being. And going back to this scheme, with the past being the past creating the present and the present creating the future, as I said, the only way to change the future is by neutralizing the past, neutralizing the energy of the past, neutralizing the effects of the past. Because everything from the past, every event from the past has an energetic imprint in us. And if you think about it—
I'm gonna leave soon, so
oh, please mute your microphones. If you think about it, about your life, you will notice that there are certain unpleasant situations that you keep ending up into. Either a conflict with a partner or with the neighbor, or a loss, or someone stealing something from you at some point, stealing something else, someone betraying you, someone abandon you, somebody humiliating you. You are living these emotions, these feelings over and over again in different situations with different people, or with the same. Because those feelings, those emotions, the energy of those, whatever it is that you don't like, is within you. And that needs to be removed. That needs to be transformed. So what we actually need is to free the effects of the past that are holding you back in life. Everyone has. That's why we are here. That's why we are humans. But now we know that it is possible, and there are many tools that we can use to free ourselves from the effects of the past, as in to remove— it's not removing because you can't remove the energy, but the mind understands remove. So it's actually transforming the energy. I call it remove because that's easier for people to understand. You remove all these bits and pieces that are no longer serving you. So you remove the humiliation from you, you remove the unfairness from you, you remove the feeling betrayed, you remove from the feeling of being abandoned, you remove the feeling that you're being slaved, you remove the feeling that others take advantage of you, etc., etc. Everyone has tons of these. There are many tools. I personally use in the programs in Be Free, we use compassion and we use energetic empowerment. And this is very counterintuitive. giving compassion to them, to someone that hurts you, harms you, to something within you that keeps hurting you and harming you, helps dissolve that energy. So rather than fighting that energy, when you give compassion, that energy dissolves. We need more explanation, but at least high level, that's how it works. For the future,
Hosanna, sorry
yeah.
to stop you. I'm going to mute all for you so we don't get interruptions, but that will mute yourself as well. So you need to unmute yourself. Is that okay?
Oh, okay, sure.
I'll do it now.
Okay. I'm back. Okay, so for the future, we need to have a clear vision. And a vision, I want to get out of the council tax and I want to get out of the contract for utilities. That's not a vision. That's getting out of something I don't like. That's running away from something I don't like. I want to create a proper vision, a clear vision of the life I want to live as a sovereign king or queen, as a true sovereign person. Not getting out of shit, whatever the shit is, not getting out of suffering. Most people think, oh, I don't want to have debts anymore. I don't want to be a slave anymore. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to be ill. I don't want to have these problems. That's not helping because you focus your energy on those things you don't want. Clear vision means this is the life I want to create. I am living free. I am living my purpose. I'm delivering my mission. I'm spending 3 holidays a year in the beautiful destinations I choose. I am spending time with my dear ones and I feel free. I feel comfortable. I create from stability. I feel in harmony with myself, with my friends, with people around me, with the entire creation. That's a clear vision that can get you out of the stuff you don't like. And you can develop it much more. Of course, everyone needs some time and thing to process and create this vision. But once you have the vision, then you can set intentions. You can set intentions that pull you towards something that you want. And then obviously, then you take the right actions. Taking the actions to get out of the stuff just because you want to avoid a bill, that's keeping you there. It's not going to help. Taking the action to create the life that you want is going to help, as long as you you transform the energy from the pieces from the past that keep you there in drama and in whatever you don't like. And we can use meditations, visualization, affirmations. A great tool is Change Your Story. These are the tools that can create the life you want. These are not the tools to get out of the past. The tools from my point of view and from my experience and from what I've seen with all our clients in the Be Free movement. These are the tools. So the meditations and visualizations are great for going towards, but not as good and not as effective to clear up the effects from the past. They could for some people, but only for a very limited number of people they work. Most people don't manage with meditations and visualizations and affirmations because the energy of the past just can be done quicker in a different way. So the third thing is there are different tools. There are different tools depending on what you want to resolve, what you want to achieve, and it's all within you. Are you with me? We've covered the first 3 pieces and we still have the other 3. Does this make sense? Is it what you expected? Yes, no? Someone says, Elsa said transmute. I didn't want to use the word transmute because it's a word that I personally did not understand and did not accept for a long time. My brain could not understand this word. Transmute means that you literally quickly, like in an instant, change something, a big chunk of something that you don't like. That's my understanding of transmute. It's very difficult for people, especially the logical people, to accept that this is possible unless they do some work. That's why I believe it's something that can be introduced as a concept after you've done some inner work. Cool, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed. So how do you become sovereign? That will be after. I just want to tell you a little bit, very briefly, my story. For me, it started in January 2019. I am a very logical person. I'm an investment banker. I have an MBA in finance, and I was having my own business, helping many other businesses set up businesses, grow businesses, promote online, etc. And in January 2019, I separated from my partner, the father of my son, Sebastian. As you can see, that picture is actually a few months after we separated. That wasn't my smile. And the separation brought too much pain for me. I just could not bear the pain seeing him not giving me what I wanted from him and giving other women what I wanted, and sleeping in different, I don't know where, 4 or 5 nights a week. And that was the moment that I decided I needed to do something. And I reached out 2 of my former clients from my programs, the business programs. I worked with about 60,000 entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, established businesses, people wanting to start, etc. And there were these 2 ladies which had something, had a spark, had something that drew me to go to only those 2. I didn't believe or I didn't trust anybody else other than these 2. I did all their courses, all their programs. I had them as my private mentors, and I had loads of counseling, and I did everything they said to me to do. My focus was just on doing whatever they asked me to do, because I couldn't do anything else. My business wasn't anywhere. I didn't have any clients anymore. And the story goes more. Basically, I didn't even know I could live in London anymore because I had no money, no income, no savings, nothing. I was thinking of going back to Romania, but I thought, well, Romania costs money too. And eventually, that was January 2019. By the end of 2019, I bought my own house. It's the house where I am right now. And I'm living with my son in this house. And I became financially free by the end of 2019. So that is possible. Maybe not that quickly, maybe not for everyone, but it is possible if you focus on yourself. I made it my mission to focus on myself, and that's why I'm so passionate, and now that's why I'm so keen to share this information to so many people, because it changed my life. And I see we have hundreds of people in the programs, and their lives gets improved. This is me. This is my previous me. I'm an advisor for Base Business School, and I'm visiting lecturer. I also mentor students for the Founder Institute for Base Business School. I was voted in Silicon Valley in top 100 women in technology awards for as an entrepreneur, different shows. I represented Tony Robbins. I chose not to anymore. And I was the only woman on Robert Kiyosaki Wealth Masters Tour, the whole tour in the whole year. I was the only woman and the only Romanian on his stage, which are big achievements for me. Might sound nothing for others. And I'm also a bestseller on Amazon with two books, one on business and one on personal development. And I'm contributing to different shows, different programs in Romania. This is Canal 33 is about personal development and business development. And I do all sorts of shows there. And this is the movement I created, the Be Free movement. This is my business now. This is what I do for a living, as I said. We impacted loads of people. And my mission was one of these 2 ladies that I mentioned to you. She's now my partner in the Be Free, is to awake souls to the beautiful life and to the true freedom. The true freedom is from within. We believe that everyone can feel and live in and with love and happiness and health, all coming from within, if you want to focus on yourself and do the inner work. We created more than 50 programs by now. They're all in Romanian. We have some in English, but not much. And this is where it took off. This video, It's in Romanian. It's the truth about pandemic. I went in February 2021. I went with my partner, the new partner, and my son. We wanted to go skiing in Romania. We couldn't travel because to all sorts of lies that didn't make any sense. I realized there was something wrong. It was pandemic. It was lockdown. And you could only get out of the UK if you had a reason. And we had the reason because we were going to do some studies and some work with the TV channel. We had the confirmation, no one cared about it. So we realized there was something wrong, something rigged there. I could verify the lies they were telling us because I knew the owner of the airline company. They were blaming the airline company, and the airline company was saying, no, it's the police, the frontier police. And I was like, so why? Why are they not letting us leave, get out of the country? And I thought about different things. I did a video, and look at the number of views, 2.4 million views. And so I can't see because of the Zoom channel, 71,000 comments. And that's how I realized people were commenting and saying, oh yeah, good that you woke up. Good that you understand that the world is different to what you thought. And they hinted different things. And that's how I started looking into this conspiracy theory thing. This was my sovereign awakening, as we call it in this project. But as I said, from my point of view, the awakening means the sovereign awakening, as in understanding that the system is rigged and all this stuff that has been done, together with understanding that and living as a whole being. That's together is the awakening, and it's what we need to do in order to change our lives and get out of this shit show and create a beautiful place and a beautiful life here on planet Earth. So going back to sovereign, being sovereign means that no one tells you what to do. And when I say no one, is no boss, no partner, husband, wife, no police, politician, you know that. And you also don't tell anyone what they should do. Like with my son, I told him this. My son is 14 years old. And I said to him, I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot command you. I cannot force you. I can only tell you my suggestions, and I can show you potential outcomes, and it's your choice. Knowing the outcomes, you decide, and then you have the consequences to your decisions. That's how I grow. That's how I educate, and I want my son to grow up. So the sovereign also has a deep sense of inner autonomy and self-mastery, being a whole being. And your choices are guided by your values, by your beliefs and intuition, rather than by external pressure on society expectations. So the values in your work, you work based on your values, not based on the values of your boss or of your company. You buy the car that you want because you want it, not because you want to show off to your neighbor, to whatever. You get the point. Sovereign means being fully responsible with your life, in your life, to your life, whatever. And that's something that I did not understand. I believed I was fully responsible all my life because I made the money. I had enough to pay for the employees. I had many employees with my business. I made sure that my son had clean clothes, food, etc. But that's not being fully responsible. That's only being partially responsible for whatever you assume to be responsible for. What I wasn't responsible for, and I only realized after, was my relationship with my partner. The relationship started being worse. And in the last 2 years, it was worse and worse and worse to become impossible to stay in the relationship. And I was still hoping and expecting him to change. That's not being fully responsible. The reason why I wasn't responsible for the relationship was because I had no idea what to do. And I was hoping that he would know and he would change and things will go back to how it was at the beginning. That's not being responsible. Fully responsible is to recognize the areas of your life that you are like pushing away and learning about it, assuming full responsibility and learning, developing, changing, transforming, etc. in those areas as well. And also stay true to your purpose and truth. But it's hard to stay true to your truth because you actually don't know what your truth is. You believe you know because you've done a little bit of understanding here and there. The truth is when you know from your heart, when you know from your whole being, that's the truth. Everything else could be true, could be lie, and most of it is mixed. And also it means to access your inner wisdom and trust yourself. And that's a process to get there. No one can from the very beginning, but if you focus on this, you can train yourself to become that. So it's a process, and in order to become sovereign, you need to embrace change. You need to trust yourself, you need to be persistent, be determined, use discernment. This word discernment is something that I had no idea what it meant. When I first heard it in one of my courses, one of these two ladies I told you about, she said, oh, you need to behave with discernment and do this with discernment. Oh, what does it mean? Okay, discernment is the ability to take the right decisions that make most sense for you and for others and for the entire creation. Still didn't make any sense. It's a concept that you need to get. And it's again through becoming sovereign, it's a process to even get that concept. Have the courage. And again, a lot of the people don't have the courage because they've been told, oh, don't go there because it's dangerous. Don't do that because it's dangerous as kids. Or the soul carries some lack of courage. So then again, it's to transform the lack of courage into courage. And live with healthy pride. Not the pride, oh, I managed to get out of the council tax or whatever. I just give this example. Healthy pride is being proud of whom you became, being proud of the whole understanding that you have as you progress, as you evolve. So the process means to discover new things, to understand new things, to learn, to train yourself, to transform, and to change. And you need to guide until you don't need a guide anymore. That's what we keep saying in all our programs. We want to be your guide until you don't need us anymore. And when you don't need us, you don't need anyone because you understand you're a whole being and the power is in you. I don't want to sell you any program. All our programs are in Romanian. As I said, we have very limited in English. I want to sell you the concept of wanting to become your guide. I want to sell you the concept of wanting to understand what this whole being is and to stepping into this whole being and living as a whole being. That's what I want you to buy after this or from this presentation. So you need to get out of shame, guilt, blame, hate, resentment, regrets, deception, disillusion, drama, manipulation, fear of the future, fear of not having enough, lack of respect. All of these everyone has them, more or less, or stronger or less strong. And all of these are just energy that is within us. And we can remove them one by one with the tools that I mentioned to you, or there are many other options. And also get out of, I have no choice. I hear this so many times. It's so engraved in every single person. I have no choice. You always have more choices, but you don't like the choices you have, but you like the choices, but you don't like the consequences of those choices. There are always more choices. And if you think of every time there is a problem and you say, oh, you catch yourself to think, oh, I have no choice. Remember, you always have choices, and ask yourself, what other choices do I have? And just list them, and you'll realize how many more choices you have. It's amazing when you ask yourself, what other choices I have? You will always find other choices, and most often some more better choices than the one that you thought initially. People shy away from this because of the fear of unknown, fear of uncovering uncomfortable truth about themselves and about others, the world. Fear of change, fear that change could affect careers, relationships, or other aspects of their lives. I see in private sessions, a lot of the people are afraid that they lose the ones that are close to them. They are afraid to embark on this evolution and the progress because they have a belief which sounds like, if I evolve, I lose my daughter, or I lose my circle of friends, or I lose my job, or I lose the comfort that I created, or some sort of that. Everyone has one of these or more of these. Fear of others judging you, fear of how you are perceived by others and what they think of you. Feeling that this is life. If the parents were like this, or if everyone around is like this, well, then they believe that constant stress is normal, and dissatisfaction is normal, drama is normal, compromise is normal, you name it. No, none of these are normal, and every one of them is just an energy that can be removed. I live with stress-free, and it's amazing. It is so free. I feel free. Distrust in own demons, and that's the fear that there is something inside that you won't like. You'll discover something you won't like, and you'll get destabilized. A lot of the people are afraid of the suffering, so they push the suffering in, they put it into a box, they cover the box, they lock the box, and they throw the key away, and they, oh, suffering, it's there. No, I don't want to get into there. But it's the same as the garbage that is under the rug or under the carpet, and then it stings, and then eventually it goes out, and the person explodes, becomes too angry and too judgmental and too all over the place. And a lot of the people think badly about spirituality, and I was one of them. I thought, oh, those lunatics, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to make money. They can't think. They can't create a life for themselves. And they go into this woohoo world. But now the science is bringing the woohoo world together with the logical mind. And it's explaining a lot of the woohoo stuff. And it's not woohoo anymore. Quantum physics is the new or the most recent area that is studying the spirituality and this miracles, I could call them, because miracles is stuff that we don't understand. But as long as they happen, they are potentials. They happen in quantum physics. No, I won't go into this. Maybe I do another one, because then I don't stop about that. Just remember that the spirituality that you heard about has nothing to do with the stuff that I'm talking about, or has some of the stuff. There is an intersection, but it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about science and physics. The reasons why people don't go into this, they can, I said earlier, why they shy away, but they come disguised as seek to understand the legal and monetary scams, and they want to opt out of the system only, and they only focus on this, no, thinking that that's all. But now you can't think of that, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, because I hopefully opened your mind to think beyond that. I'm not saying that's not important, but it's not the only piece that you need to understand and focus on and master. And in order to get that, you also need to transform something within you. And again, they are discussed in, oh, I'm busy. I have a busy schedule. I have no time to commit to self-discovery process, if they consider it's not bullshit, which I hope you understand it's not bullshit. Then they focus on other priorities, because everyone has hobbies, everyone has lives. And a lot of people seek fast solutions, and they still choose the shiny promises. The internet is full of shiny promises. Make money in 3 days, or earn through property, or whatever, now crypto, or invest in that. All these shiny promises are being made. I'm not saying some of them are good, some of them are bad, as in everything. But everyone is making these shiny promises to sell their programs, courses, etc., because people don't want the process, don't accept that it is a process to get there, and they still believe and hope and expect to resolve the debt in 3 days because someone promises online to resolve the debt in 3 days. And of course, they eventually realized that that wasn't possible. And a lot of the people are still shying away because they only seek science-backed methods. And I'm here to tell you that everything I said, everything we do, everything that I do has already a lot of studies. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, these are some of the people that you can search online, listen. These are scientists which have studied this. They study vibration, they study energy, they study coherence between brain and heart. It's a lot of information if you want to see it. It's not woohoo anymore. It's the science is catching up with this, the spirit that I don't like to call it spirituality. I call it spirit that is in every single one of us, the whole being piece. So it's a process to become sovereign, and you need to develop to train your ability to think for yourself, to integrate the full responsibility, to rewrite the story of struggle, drama, compromise, fight, etc., everything that you don't like, to understand your value and your values, as in value what you can put into the world, what you're worth, what the money that you can deserve to receive, and the values is in what's important for you. Like for me, freedom is my main value. Accept that your vulnerability is your power, is giving you your power, has a lot of power, your vulnerability. Accept evolution and ascend. Learn and live by divine laws. If you don't want the legal system to apply to you, the only way is to live by the divine laws. You need to understand them, study them, and integrate them within you. There is no other way. And Pete knows that. Pete instinctively knows the divine laws. If you spend time with him, and I had a little bit of time, I had the pleasure to spend a little bit of time with him, I know that for him is natural to follow the divine laws. That's how he came on this planet. Most of us, I haven't, and most of us didn't come that way. That's why we need to learn them and to integrate them to be able to get out of the laws created by man. Because imagine if everyone wanted out of the law, it would be complete chaos, and it will be fight, it will be a mess. People would be killing each other, and it would be complete disaster. But if we follow the divine laws, we know to do no harm and to love everyone, to treat everyone with compassion, etc. We know that everything we think and goes into the universe and comes back to us. So it's a very different way of thinking and living. And that's what I encourage you to do. That's what I invite you to do. Because again, that's the only way to get out of the stuff we don't like. Now, we are getting close to the end, so I would like to invite you to close your eyes again if you want. Just take a deep breath in. And imagine your life living as a sovereign king or queen. How would your life be? How would you feel? How would you feel to be in control, to be courageous, to have full responsibility, to help one another, to live in peace, to know your rights, your value, your values, and live according to them, to fulfill your purpose, to be in your mission, to contribute to making the world a better place? How would you feel to be you? Authentic, free, creative. Just feel those feelings and see your life. How would you live? Just imagine. Paint whatever picture you want. And now you can open your eyes, take a deep breath in, come back here and write. How would your life be? What would you be living different? How would you be living different? So we've got one answer, so much more fulfilling than at present. Exactly. That's exactly how it is. Same. Enlightened. What else? I saw that Lorna messaged me and she said, oh, to give you 10 minutes break, but I only saw the message now, sorry. We only have a little bit left and then we can take a break or go Q&A. And
it was only a suggestion.
in total trust of myself, peace, harmony, heaven on earth. Know that all of these are possible and it's up to you to create that. Fulfilled. Fulfilled. It's your choice. It's only your choice. And you can decide now, you can decide anytime you want to embark on this journey, self-discovery, progress, evolution, to be the whole being, to operate as a whole being. And then you create the life you want, exactly as you said it here. Peaceful, joyful, high vibrations, pure heaven, not letting those that trap us against us affect us as we stand in our own power. More confident to pursue a life in natural law. Everything is possible. It's only your decision. And then, of course, your self-discovery journey. Why now and the power? But it's, do you want to stop for 10 minutes, or it's only like probably 10 minutes more and I finish? Do you want to stop or do you want to continue? Because I only saw it now. Say stop or continue, carry on, keep going. Okay. So then you can just take a break whenever you want, or take me to the toilet, take the computer to the toilet. So why now? This picture on the screen is the picture of my phone. This is actually my phone up until June this year. Who is like me, who changes the phone only when it doesn't work anymore? Yes, anyone? No, you change it more often. I don't. So the reason why I took this picture is because I believe that it's a very good analogy with the life. So every one of us is like a phone. The phone gets upgrades from time to time. And how do you get the upgrades? Well, you learn something, you discover something, you transform something. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. But at some point, you've got to change the phone. And that point is now. Changing the phone, so it's replacing the old iPhone with another one. Cool. There are points in history when we've got to have this shift. And this shift is happening now. Just a little bit upgrade is no longer enough. And the reason why it's not enough, and we've got to change the way we think, the way we look at ourselves and the world, the life. The reason why we need this is because the energy of the planet has changed, has shifted. And it commands us humans being here to change our energy as well, and to take a big, giant step up. And this is happening with or without our understanding, with or without our wanting a decision or acceptance. We are all, as humanity, changing right now. But it is our choice to decide to change towards the life we want versus the life we don't want. And there is a split. This split has happened already. A lot of the people are still attached to the past, attachment to the memories from the past, attachment to the comfort, attachment to the life before pandemic or the whatever everyone has some kind of attachments, and they don't want to change. They don't want new. They want to keep as they were. These people are being challenged more and more because the planet is challenging these people, especially to kick their ass, to understand that they are more than what they think, and to accept, to let go of the old them and go into the new them. There is a new life on the planet emerging, and we can see that, we can sense, some of us can see that, and some of us chose to be there. Some of us can sense and see that there is a new thing emerging. We are living now historical moments, and right now, as of 1st of November, in particular, people that study cycles and astrology and numerology and all that stuff have concluded or have told us that we started a new cycle, which is called death and rebirth. And it's not about the death of the person. It's the death of the old. It's the death of what is no longer helping us. And if we remove that, we make space for the new, and we can rebirth. We can reinvent ourselves. We can change the phone, not just a little bit. And that's what I am here to bring to you, to invite you to accept, to embark on this new journey on self-transformation, self-discovery, being sovereign with the way you feel, with the way you act, with the way you live as a whole being. I see that Lorna said if anyone has questions, well, please put them here. Now, the power. Most people understand the power as something external. So they believe that the authorities or the boss or the client or the police or the clerk at the financial office or the clerk working for HMRC or the bank or the post office, whatever, they have the power. They also believe that the money equals power or gives power. And they also believe, some people believe that the God, someone, somewhere, has the power. None of these are true. We lived with these concepts up until now, but the new way, the rebirth of the new human, of the new life, means that we give away these meanings, these interpretations of power, and we go to the power within. As long as you relate to power as something external to you, someone will always be able to harm you and have more than you and do something that you're not happy with, always. So the true power is within you. The true power is within every single one of us. And again, there are studies and scientists are telling us that we are, what we don't know about us is way bigger than what we know. And I invite you to imagine, have in front of you a stadium, a big football stadium or whatever stadium you can think of. See the size of that stadium and imagine in the middle of the stadium, there is a pea, a green pea. The difference, the contrast between the size of the pea and the size of the stadium is the difference between what our physical body is the pea, and our whole being is the stadium. So when you tap into the whole being and understand that your energy is way bigger than your body, that much bigger as the difference between the pea and the stadium, then you start to feel more power. that is within you. And you can change yourself, you can change your life and change the world. It is your responsibility to discover it. Some people accept it and go on this journey. Some people will say, well, it's not for me. I want to live like before. I want to keep my 10 houses and 10 million in the bank. That's fine. I'm not here to tell anyone how to live. I'm just giving you another option, which works for me and for all the clients that I work with. And it's up to you to decide how you want it. The guidance of your divine self, which God is within you, which, so you can call it God, you can call it universe, you can call quantum field, you can call it universal mind, you can call it in many, many ways, is what helps you discover and integrate you, your authenticity, and your power. It's a process, and you need a guide until you don't, as I said. First of all is the decision. You want to go towards the power so you can be in control of your life, so you can decide for everything around your life. Then you go into self-discovery and self-transformation. You don't want that, you can still where you are. Thank you for watching my presentation. There are few resources in English on the Be Free movement. There are a few other sessions that which are there. You find them on the free resources. My business site, my business mentoring and consulting site is osanajust.com. And if you want to ask me questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you for staying until the end. So I'm going to look at the chat. I see the chat, and yeah, just give me how your experience was. If you've got anything out of it, what you think of it.
Thank you,
Give me
Ozana.
some feedback.
It was really great. It was really great. There was Debbie who asked about how does she pass the drama? And I just said to her, look at yourself, meditate, and take natural psychedelics. It might not be the right thing, psychedelics for the person, but my other half went through it and he literally ditched his psychopathic mother and ex-wife. It worked for him. So I don't know if anybody else has an experience like that, which can share with us, because it is a big trauma if you have psychopathic parents, especially, because it can affect you really badly. If you've got any comments on that, Ozana. Lorna, you've got really bad
I
feedback,
did
by the way.
ayahuasca. I did a treatment with ayahuasca, and I was supposed to go to Peru to do a proper one in the jungle with the shamans, and I'm so happy I didn't do it. The lady who organized the group was from Romania, so I flew to Romania for 2 days of a taster in Romania, and then we were going to go to Peru. I bought the ticket to go to Peru, and pandemic stopped me. They canceled the flight exactly the day before I was going to embark on the flight, and that was my divine self helping me not to go. Because in Peru there could be a lot of the stuff. What happened to me was so let's put it this way, it's at your own risk, and if you're not stable, you might get more destabilized, and you might become dependent on those things, and you might have to go more and more and more to. I know people that did 30 trips to resolve, and they still. But for me, when I did ayahuasca in Romania, I could see, I could feel that I was not in the body. I could feel that I was out, and I could see different things.
You were in the universe.
I was in the universe. And I met with the driver from my company, which, the former driver from my company, who died like only a month before. And I could actually see him, and I could see him being happy. And I remember wow experience was that you have a bucket where you vomit and you have a bottle of water.
Yep.
I could see that my hands, the lady was telling me, take the water and drink. So I could see my hands were taking the water and drinking, but it wasn't me taking the water and drinking because I was up there.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah, you
very
are. On
distinct,
ayahuasca, you are
yeah,
completely somewhere else.
yeah.
Yeah. So somebody asked, what is a natural psychedelics? So it could be mushrooms, it could be ayahuasca, it could be the what's it called? The poison from the frogs.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's that one is pretty bad. So you do come out. Just research it. Just look into it. Just don't go for synthetics if you can. Kambo. Thank you, Helen. Yes, Kambo. Um, would you mind if I share my ayahuasca trip? Would that
Go
be
for
okay?
it.
We went to Amsterdam. Didn't know much about it, but in my heart, I was just sitting up. There was lots of crying people in a group, so they obviously had lots of issues. But I'm like you. I know who I am, what I am here to achieve, and I'm happy with myself. So I was going there more for my partner, and my heart just exploded into the universe with the love. And the shaman couldn't understand that I was okay. So I found it really, really strange because they're getting these people with all these troubles. So be careful which groups you go to for ayahuasca, for example. If you go to Peru, if you go to Amsterdam, if you go anywhere else, just make sure they are legible, they've got good reviews, and they don't try to scam you. That's very, very important because they should be there for you to help you get over whatever it is you need help with. So yeah, I was just there. And then it was a 3-day trip, and the second day I was just laughing my head off. I closed my eyes, I had the little Lego things going in. You get lots of visuals. And they had to get me out of the room because I was disrupting everybody because I was laughing. But just remember, you will purge a lot on ayahuasca. You will throw up and poo at the same time. The poo is not smelly because it's just cleaning your body and you feel great afterwards. So we've got Aurea. She's done ayahuasca, iboga, and magic mushrooms. So people, areas on mushrooms. Yeah, yeah. You just see such amazing things. You see beyond this system, beyond this realm of 3D, which we have here right now. We can't see even after this. As David Icke said, you know, the vision you have of the light and how far you can see. We are nothing. We are literally nothing. On mushrooms, I've seen so many things. I was talking to my trees. They were arguing between each other, and I kind of made them go together and have fun. And afterwards, it was so peaceful in my garden. You would not believe. I know this sounds crazy, but it was so nice. And yeah, there was just peace in the garden and everything groaned and everything just, after a few years, it was just like, yeah, I know I sound like a crazy lady, but it depends how you look at the
Well,
natural
all of these sound crazy
lights.
because it's not something that we knew. It's only
No,
something that we
yeah.
discover whenever we discover, and then it's out of our brainy mind.
Yes, yes, yeah. Our minds are so closed, aren't they? From the system and how the system depressing us. So what you talked about tonight is just so great to hear, and thank you.
You're welcome. I'm happy to answer questions, or I don't know how you want to take it. I can take it in any way, shape, and form.
Anybody got any questions, guys?
Or what did you get out of it? One idea.
Yeah, that would be good. For me, it was confirmation what I believe in, so thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions?
What will you do? What decisions you take after this? Look forward to being free. What will you do to be free? What actions, decisions will you take?
I'm asking Manji to unmute.
I
You-
bought Pete's book and course.
You know
Great
what,
advice.
Ozana, it just confirmed to me that everything I've done in my life was the right decision.
Nice.
I'm a single child, so for me, I was always alone, so I always had to rely on to myself. Which, what you said tonight was exactly how I was all my life. But we've got Manjit unmute.
We have a practical step. Thank you, Gary. Gary or Jerry, I think Gary. I will become more aware of my thoughts and feelings. That's amazing. If everyone can observe the thoughts and feelings, that's a very good first step. I was not able, when I was told by my mentor to observe my thoughts and feelings, I don't feel anything and I don't understand the feelings anyway, and I can't observe my thoughts. I want this, that's all. But then when you open yourself to it, you can notice so many rubbish thoughts everyone has. Reread Bruce Lipton's book, super video again, and digest everything. Embrace working on myself instead of feeling guilty about it. Have more confidence now. Super. Zoom like tonight makes me want to work harder for the Sovereign Project, working on many things to get us where we need. The chat went up. Some other comments. We need to be. Cheers. My lesson today, a little more empathetic to others. Super. Understanding others, it's an amazing ability to have. I did not have this ability. It was like my way or the highway. That was my whole life. And it's only in the last few years that I learned to care about others and empathy. And it's, again, when you put yourself into the shoes of the others, and when you see the world from their perspective, it's so much easier to find solutions that work rather than imposing your view. I'm talking for myself. I was only imposing my view because I could not see anything else. But the world can be so much better when you see it from different perspectives. Be more aware in knowing what I am doing, creating will be the future. Yes, absolutely. And know that every single thought you have bounces back, comes back to you and gives you based on the life creates for you based on your thoughts and feelings. I was saying this to Sebastian, my son, and he knows. Just an example, a few examples. We were skiing and we were in the chairlift and saw some poles that people dropped from the chairlift, and he was like, ha, 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 those stupid people that dropped their poles. I'm like, watch what you're thinking, because you know that the universe is turning it back to you. The next run, he dropped his pole. And he wanted to push me away and mess with my bindings, ski bindings. And then again, watch what you're doing, because it's going to come back to you. Next run, he fell and the bindings went off. So this is how it works. For the kids, it's immediate, or very, very quickly. And for us, it's coming quicker and quicker as well. if you observe it, if you develop this ability to observe. Yeah, karma. Karma is something that you have, and it's something that you create every time, every moment. You can create karma if you think negatively. But that again, every comment you make, I can make another day event on it. Okay, so what else will you do? What will you do different based on today's presentation? Karma is not delay now, it's spontaneous, absolutely. It's quicker and quicker. And if you pay attention, if something bad happens to you, if you pay attention to what you thought, did, felt before, like a day before, you will be able to connect. Stop feeling guilty about past events. Super. We are all beings of love, light, and energy. What we are exposed to can have a great or terrible impact on us. It's all about our perspective on why things happen the way they do. Absolutely. Think about my thoughts more. Super. Stop beating myself up. Yes. Fantastic. Will this be available to go back to? I don't know. You decide, Jeanette. What I know that it's been recorded. If you want to put it somewhere, I'm happy to.
It's Lona's call.
Um,
Lona is a host.
I already put a question into you, Janet, earlier. You missed it through all the chats.
Oh,
But yeah,
message me, please.
I was asking if basically if I send you the recording, you know, would you and Pete be okay with sharing it on the site or on the wiki or whatever?
Yeah. Just send it through.
And then you can send the link to Ozana and we can share it amongst.
Yep, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, both of you. So we have a few more comments. And the reason why I'm reading these comments is because I believe they're helping others with ideas. So Helen said, thank you so much. I know I'm on the right path, going in the right direction. I had no idea this presentation would be like this. I will keep trusting in myself. Super. Have a clear vision of what we want and not of the negative things. Perfect. Don't let the scars of my past life determine what happens in the present. Leave clinging and resistance behind. Super. Fantastic resource. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here and for the comments. And if there is anything that I can do to help, I'm here. Oh, we are also creating, I don't know if you know, we're creating a health director, health and wellness practitioners directory on the Sovereign website. And I will be there, other people will be there that can do private sessions like woohoo stuff or less woohoo stuff. There will be a different menu of people there that you can consult, help, and get help from. Best way to make contact with whom?
Debbie, who do you mean with whom? Contact with whom? With you. Who is you?
I will.
How we can contact you? I think they mean you, Ozana.
Yeah, I'm going to put here the website. So I put my website, and you find a few more presentations there if you look at the free resources. And I also put my email address if you want to message me. I can give you the office at BU Be Free. That comes to me. Oh no, sorry. It's oh sorry, it's not com. It's club. So this is the address of the Be Free movement with club at the end. if no one has any questions, we can leave. How are you feeling now?
Great.
Would you like me to stop the recording now then?
Yeah, thank you, Lorna, so much.
No problem.
So you can